You ever click buy on a trade? You see the price right there on the screen. But when the confirmation comes through, the price is different? What on earth happens in that split second between your click and the final trade? Well, that little gap is one of the most critical and honestly most misunderstood parts of trading. So let's peel back the curtain and see what's really going on. And the stakes here are way higher than you might think. As the SEC points out, in these super fast automated markets we trade in today, these tiny little details about execution, they aren't just details. They can literally be the difference between a small, manageable error and a complete financial disaster. So here's our game plan to get a handle on this. First, we're going to define the problem itself. What exactly is slippage? Then we'll look under the hood to see why it happens. After that, we'll get into your toolkit, the ways you can control it. We'll talk strategy, and finally, we'll see how all of this is absolutely key to surviving in modern markets. All right, let's start with the main event. This is the core issue that every single trader, every single one, has to deal with. It's that classic battle between what you expect and what you actually get. The official name for this phenomenon is slippage. Now, it's really important you understand this. Slippage is not an error. It's not your broker trying to pull a fast one. It is a completely normal, natural feature of a live, breathing market. It's just the difference between the price you asked for and the price the market was able to give you. And this right here, this is a massive trap for so many people starting out. When you're backtesting a strategy, everything's perfect. Every trade executes at the exact price you want. But when you go live, slippage is a mathematical certainty. If you ignore it, it's like planning a drive across town but pretending traffic doesn't exist. You're just setting yourself up for a very rude awakening. And let's be clear, this has a real impact on your bottom line. When slippage goes against you, we call it negative slippage. That tiny fraction of a price difference might seem like nothing, but that is real money coming directly out of your pocket on that trade. And when you multiply that by hundreds or thousands of trades, well, it adds up fast. Okay, so if slippage is just a fact of life in trading, what's actually causing it? It's not some hidden, complex algorithm. The answer is actually right out in the open for everyone to see. It all happens inside the market's order book. To get this, you need to understand something called the depth of market, or the DOM. The easiest way to think about it is like looking at the shelves in a supermarket. The DOM shows you exactly how many units of something, say shares or contracts, are available for sale at the best price right now, then at the next best price and the one after that. It's a totally transparent view of supply and demand. So here's where it all clicks into place. When you place a market order, you're basically saying, I want to buy right now. The system goes to that first shelf, the best price, and starts grabbing units for you. But what if you want to buy 100 shares, and there are only 50 available at that best price? Well, your order doesn't just stop. It walks the book. It fills the first 50, then immediately jumps to the next best price to get the other 50. So your final price isn't the price you first saw. It's the average price across all those levels. That, my friends, is slippage in action. Okay, so we know we can't just wish slippage away. So how do we deal with it? Well, you have two main tools in your trading platform, and using them correctly comes down to making a really important choice. What matters more to you in this moment, the price or just getting the trade done? This slide right here is the core of this entire lesson. This is the fundamental trade-off you always have to make. In a market that's moving, you can guarantee your price, or you can guarantee your trade gets filled, but you can't, I repeat, you cannot guarantee both at the exact same time. Your tool for prioritizing price is a limit order. Your tool for prioritizing execution is a stop order. Let's break down the limit order. Think of this as your price enforcer. It's you telling the market, look, I'm willing to buy, but only at this price or a better one. I absolutely refuse to pay a penny more. If the market moves past your price before your order can be filled, too bad. The order just sits there, unfilled. Price is king. Now let's talk about the stop order. This is your execution specialist. This order is completely different. When the market hits your price, this thing basically turns into a screaming market order. It's yelling, get me out of this trade right now. I don't care about the exact price, just get me out at the very next price available. It guarantees you get filled, but you have to accept whatever slippage might come with that guarantee. So knowing what the tools are is one thing, but knowing when to pull which one out of the toolbox, that's where strategy comes in. This is where we go from just knowing things to actually trading effectively. So let's think about a real scenario. Let's start with the fun part, taking profits. You're in a winning trade and it's approaching your target. What is your number one priority? Is it getting that exact price you aimed for, or is it just making sure you close the trade? For profits, the answer is always the price. You should always use a limit order for your take profit targets. You've done the work, you've picked your target, and you're telling the market you will only accept that specific profit amount, or even more. If the market just kisses your price and backs away, it's no big deal. You're trying to lock in a specific win. Okay, now for the most important job a trader has, cutting losses. The trade has gone bad, it's crashing down, and it's about to hit your stop loss. Now, what's more important, getting the exact price you set for your stop loss or getting the heck out of a losing trade that's bleeding money? Here, the priority does a complete 180. It is all about survival. You must use a stop order for your stop losses. A stop loss is not about haggling over a few cents. Its one and only job is to prevent a catastrophic loss. You have to guarantee your exit, period. Even if that means taking a little bit of slippage to do it. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Paying a tiny slippage fee to ensure you escape a trade that's going to zero is the smartest insurance policy in trading. Using a limit order for your stop loss is one of the most dangerous things you can do. If the market gaps down violently, it can jump right over your limit price, your order never gets filled, and you are trapped in a nightmare scenario. You know, understanding these order types isn't just some clever trick for retail folks like us. This is a core principle of risk management that is used all the way up to the biggest financial institutions on the planet. Just take a look at how the pros operate. Big regulatory bodies and trading firms, they have this incredibly complex web of automated controls. They have automatic limits on prices, on order sizes. They have real-time monitoring of everything. They even have emergency kill switches that can cancel every single open order in an instant. Why? Because they are pathologically obsessed with controlling execution risk. Now, look at your personal risk controls. See the parallel? You're doing the exact same thing, just on a different scale. When you use a limit order for your profit target, you're prioritizing price. When you use a stop order for your stop loss, you're prioritizing your exit. You're not just clicking buttons. You are actively managing risk, just like a professional. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Really understanding how your orders work, how they actually get filled in the real world. That's the dividing line. It's what separates amateur betting from professional strategy. So now that you know how this stuff really works, are you going to keep just placing bets? Or are you going to start building a robust trading strategy that's designed to survive?